Hello, beautiful people, to another episode of Women Who Rock the World. Today, with me, I have singer-songwriter Macy.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
So, where are you right now?
So I'm in South Wales.
Okay, and that's where you were born, correct?
Yes, born in South Wales in Cardiff.
Okay. How is it there for music, but also how's life? I've never been.
It's quite beautiful actually. We've got lots of mountains. Yeah, and lots of sheep. And no, it is a really nice place to live. It's very quiet where I am. So yeah, it's quite peaceful for songwriting, which is quite nice. Yeah, and it's not too bad for music. I feel like everyone comes together in the valleys. We call it like the valleys in Wales.
Okay. That
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know. I never figured actually.
yeah, and I feel like everyone's together and they're all climbing up the ladder together because it's quite a small town. So yeah, it's good.
And how so what happened to Macy? Like, I mean, you were born, you came to this world, and then at some point you decided you wanted to make music. How did that happen?
Yeah, so when I was 10 years old, I entered a competition in school called Stars in Their Eyes. And I went as Jessie J. Because at the time she was like quite big here in the UK and I was just singing price tag all the time. And I was always a dancer before I was a singer. But for some reason that song just really like hit me and I was like, yeah, I just love this song. So my dad was like, why don't you enter as Jessie J? So I put the wig on with the fringe, and had the price tags everywhere, honestly. And I ended up winning the competition. And then since then, I went on to enter in another competition. It's all competitions when I was younger. I feel like this is how we kind of started the performance. So then I entered a competition called Open Mic UK. And I got to the final in the O2 Arena in London. And obviously I was super young, so I was 11, just turning 12. And I think when I performed at the O2 at such a young age, that was the moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. And I said to my parents, like, I want to be a singer.
How many people does a O2 hold?
Oh gosh, I think there was around 20,000 there when I performed.
Yeah, because I was like, I
Yeah,
know it's pretty big, but like,
obviously there's more
wow.
seats as well, but yeah, the competition, there was a good audience in, and yeah, it was crazy, and I had no fear being a 12-year-old just going on the stage. It was just a stage to me. So yeah, and I do feel like that was the point where I was like, no, I want to do this for the rest of my life. um and then I was in and out of studios from a young age. I got picked up by a few people in the competitions, and they put me on a development platform in London. So I was back and forth the studio like from 12 to about 15. And then obviously I sat my exams, my GCSEs. And I still knew, I was like, nah, this, I want to do like music. Went on to college, dropped out of college. And then started releasing my music then under Macy. Because I never released the songs that I wrote when I was like 12. So yeah, from 2021, Macy was kind of born as an artist. And yeah, the rest is history really. It's been a crazy ride.
Yeah, and I mean, fast forward to today, I mean, your songs have been played on BBC Radio. You worked with like Taylor Swift's producer, if I'm correct. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm really lucky. So in Wales, we have like the BBC Radio Wales. So I've been super lucky. I've been on the A list like 16 times now, which is like crazy. They really supported all my tracks. So yeah, and then I was lucky enough to be played on BBC Radio 1, which was just like a dream come true. I think that was again a moment where I was like, wow, this is like crazy. Hearing your music on like Radio 1 is just unreal. Like there's no better feeling. And yeah, I've worked with a few producers. So Zak has worked on the Taylor Swift album, and I record a lot of my music with Zak. He's actually local to me, so that's really cool. Small world. And then I've worked with Ollie Marland, and he's an LA based producer, and he was the one that got me on. Well, we wrote the song, got on Radio 1. So yeah, I've been working with them. a lot of producers. They're all super cool.
Yeah, so well, that's I mean, that's some pretty cool stuff, right there. And um I imagine, I mean, okay, Women Who Rock the World is all about inspiration, and it's about success, but in the sense of being centered, and feeling good in what you want to do. It's not just about success like thousands of people, and
Yeah.
millions of people streaming your albums and stuff like that, which of course is great. But it's about the journey. So, was it always easy?
No. um, do you know what? Like, I'm really lucky because my parents have always been super supportive. So I think that was like a massive thing for me. And, have my parents there along the ride. My mom was like my wardrobe. Like, she always used to like help me get ready. And then my dad did a lot of like the admin, kind of like managing me, to be honest. So yeah, I think if you've got a good support network around you, like it's good. But then, there's some days where it is hard. Like, it's not just, you could, like you said, you can perform to like 1,000 people, and then like your song doesn't get played the next day. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them things. I think it's like this all the time, And I think with like the music industry, you can have like really highs but really low lows as well. But I think because I've done it from such a young age, I got like the resilience, is that the word?
Hmm.
Where I'm kind of just used to that now. I'm like, well, if you don't like my music, that's fine. I just love doing it, and I'm making it because I want to make this type of music. And yeah, I think if you've got a passion and you love the music you're making, I think that's one of the best things in the world. I think that's what you need to find. You find your passion, you find what you love making, and then you're on your way. Whether Dave likes it or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I love, your attitude, and I love, and that translates into your songs. That's what I believe. Your songs are very fresh, and playful, and so just talking to you, I can totally see it in your personality. But because of course I don't like to judge people. Of course, we never met in person. And so, like, is this really, I mean, the way you are, the way you present yourself, I think it's very important, in any business, but especially in the music industry, because as you mentioned, like, very like high highs and low lows. Do you think your character, as a person, helped you overcome some difficulties?
Yeah, I would say so. Like, obviously, when I go on stage, I'm kind of like, I'm not a different person. That's not the word. I kind of get in the zone. I'm like, Macy on stage is quite different to like Macy now. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, I think it's all about character building. And like I said, once you've got like what you want to do, and I feel like I knew that from such a young age, that was kind of like, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. I think that, yeah, I think the young age thing is a massive thing to do with it. But I think to anyone, if you've got a passion, you've just got to do it. And yeah, I would say I'm quite different to where I am on stage to like Macy, like you're talking now. But yeah, it does come across my songs, my personality. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think so. And of course, yeah, meaning like I never met you, but that's what totally comes across, to you as a person. And you make everything look very easy, in and like, yeah, I wrote this song, and then yeah, I played at the O2. And then, yeah, there were
Yeah.
like 20,000 people. Okay. And then I was on BBC Radio. And then, yeah,
Yeah, I think
which
it's
is
just I'm quite
great.
chill. Yeah, I'm quite chilled with it, to be honest. I think like I've always been brought up to be like quite humble about what I do. And like, yeah, I think that's again a massive thing as well. I'm not giving life advice here, but I do feel like, yeah, you just, it is what it is. And like if things come, I'm like, yay. If they don't, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Did you ever have a moment where you said, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, not because you don't love it anymore, but because of some challenges? And if so, what happened, if you want to share?
Yeah, so I think there's probably 2 points in my life where I've been like, I'm not like, again, not that I don't love it, but it is, it is hard. It's not easy being like an independent pop artist. So I would say when I was in school, I got bullied quite a bit for like my music. I think people didn't quite understand what I was trying to do. And they were just like, you need to do your maths homework. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was going off to the studio, and like I wasn't going like to house parties because I was doing like gigs. Um, So yeah, I think that was, I got to a point where I was just leaving school. I was like, nah, I can't do this no more. It's not cool. Like people made me believe that it wasn't cool. Um, so yeah, I would say that's probably one of the ones. And then funding, it's not cheap.
No.
Yeah, so I think being an independent artist, the funding can be quite difficult sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I've been super lucky in the past, where I've had like the funding, but there are times where it's like we can't do this music video because we haven't got the funding, so I'm just going to use my phone. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm.
finding ways around it, I suppose. But yeah,
And you're totally independent, correct?
yeah.
So how, since you mentioned it, for singers and musicians out there, how do you fund your art? In meaning, do you look for sponsors? How can you do that? Because that's could be useful for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, so there's obviously like the PRS fund. I don't know if you're aware of like the PRS. Yeah. So there's the PRS fund and they do like loads of different types of funding. So they do like women in music, like, like pop music, like all stuff like that, songwriters, producers. And then in Wales, we have development platforms called Horizons and 40. So every year they take like a bunch of acts from Wales and they fund like your project. So I'm assuming that's like, if you kind of do your research, they're the ones that I've used. But there's definitely, there's got to be loads out there. It's kind of just like I've been lucky with my dad because he does a lot of the research into that kind of thing as well. Um, and yeah, just the circles I'm in, just
Yeah.
chatting to people like, oh yeah, apply for this, apply for that. And it's just like kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, true. And you mentioned something super, super useful, that is networking, just chatting to people, not being afraid that you're gonna bore someone, of course, not keep them like for an
Yeah.
hour.
Do you know what? And like one of my biggest fears is going up to someone and being like, "Hi, I'm Macy." Oh, so
Yeah, and
I'm I do, I do promote it. I was like, yeah, network, network, network. But I do get it. It can be super hard sometimes to kind of break that. I'm better now, but before I used to be like petrified.
yeah, yeah, because also you want to sound, um you don't want to sound like too
You're
cocky,
pushing.
yeah, that you
Yeah.
want to push it, that you want to sell something too salesy, and so it's kind of hard, but my opinion is, uh each artist should find their own voice, and their way of saying things, and just talking, and not being afraid of whatever people are going to think, because worst case
Yeah.
scenario, there and that is really the worst case scenario, they're going to say, okay, what an idiot, and then what, but
Yeah.
that's really the worst case scenario. It doesn't get any worse than that. While
Exactly.
what you could get is, if they're not interested themselves, maybe they're going to point you
Right.
to some direction, or maybe they're interested, and maybe it's even just taking rejections, even if it's not
Yeah. One.
today.
Oh my gosh. And I feel like, rejections, that it does, they help as well, as much as they like hurt at the time. But you do build resilience again, against that. You're like, no, I can do it. Like, come on. Like I think it's always good to, not everyone's gonna love what you do. And like I said, the main thing is that you love it, but it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. But yeah.
Yeah, but if you keep working at it, and you get better, and you take constructive criticism as well, because that's something that I see, in my artist management. I see a lot of artists have a hard time with criticism, and I did too, honestly, as an
Yeah.
artist myself, I did too. But when it's constructive, it can definitely help.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want like people being nasty, but constructive criticism is like, yeah, that's. I feel like that's okay. You know.
Yeah, no, you do learn a lot. Sometimes just sit there and listen, and don't take it personal as well.
Yeah, and I think when I was like a kid growing up, I would take a lot of things personal, because you're like, ah. Well. Whereas now I'm like, okay, yeah, let's work on this, or like what can I do to make it better? Like yeah, I feel like that's kind of like a maturity thing, I would say.
So what is it that you're working on right now? I think you have a new single coming out.
Yeah, so I've released my new single called Please Keep Talking, which is out now on all good and bad streaming platforms. Yeah, it's like a bit of a cheeky track. It's kind of telling people to shh, but also being like in the nicest way possible. Um, yeah, it was a super fun track. I worked on that with Zak Lloyd as well. One of my producers, the one that I was talking about that's worked with like Taylor Swift. And yeah, he's super cool. And yeah, it's out now and people are loving it. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I know you just released a single, but what's next? I mean, what are your plans in terms of music, singles, and not, I don't want you to reveal anything that you cannot reveal right now, but what's the process? I would like to go into the process of what you're working on, and even what is a day in your life right now.
Yeah, so I'm planning on releasing an EP. I can say that, that's fine. So yeah, I'm working on an EP at the moment, and then hopefully towards the end of the year we're going to do like a mini like UK tour. Because I've never been on tour before, so I think that would be super cool to now kind of take the EP on tour. So I'm kind of working towards that at the moment. Um, but yeah, a day for me, I'm actually a teaching assistant. I need to get the dollar in. Yeah, I'm a teaching assistant in a special needs school. So that's kind of like my day job. And then I come home and I write a song. I try and write like at least once a week or like, finish some bits off and send off to producers. But yeah, and then I'm like gigging on the weekends and like festival season's coming up. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it like organizing and planning, I think helps as well too.
yeah, definitely being organized. I think like that's probably one of the hardest things I find being an independent artist is like keeping on top of like admin. And all. I love social media, but that's like, that can be tricky as well.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
having like a schedule.
Yeah. And do you follow the schedule on social media?
Sometimes.
Okay, no, that's refreshing because I'm so bad at I create schedules, I create posting and stuff, but then it's hard to keep up with it.
Things change and yeah, yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah, there's something I want to ask you, but then I kind of forgot. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but because I talked about the social media. Um, so, oh yeah. Um, so you're independent. Let's say, what are your thoughts on record labels today?
I think, it could kind of be a good thing. I've never really done it for that. I think, like I said, I've always just done it because I love it. And like people are always like, enter these like big competitions on TV or like you need to get a record deal. And I'm like, do you know what? I love what I'm doing right now. So if it came along, then I would, I'd definitely look into it. It would be something I would look into, but I've never been like desperate for like a deal or anything.
Yeah. Do you think that you necessarily need a record label today to be successful, or is it more that you can be successful and then at some point you just go with the label?
Yeah, I mean, look at Ray. I don't know, Ray. Like she's a massive inspiration in that sense. And I think, yeah, it just proves to show that you don't need that. And then like later on down the line, yeah, get one, but kind of just do what you want to do. And like I said, if people like it, then yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and there's pros and cons in being with a label, of course.
Yeah.
Sometimes the funding, well, it depends on the type of deal that you get, but the funding can be easier
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's yeah. Yeah.
Promotion, of course. But then at the
Good.
same time, it really depends how much that label is gonna invest in you. And I don't necessarily mean just, uh,
Like money,
dollar,
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
monetary value, but
But like
yeah,
time, like
yeah.
I feel like only yourself can invest time into yourself, and I think, yeah, like I said, I've been super lucky with like my family circle where my dad helps me and like he will literally help me forever as long as he can. I think I'm lucky in that aspect. But yeah, I've worked with like managers in the past, and like they've been great, but like some of them, they haven't got the time to invest. And then you feel like,
Mhm.
oh, I could have done that myself, or, it's, yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and of course, especially for someone, any people in the music industry that do this for a job, of course they need to see their return on investment, that's how you call it. Um, but then at the same time, they need to be passionate about what you do, and there's no one else who's going to be as passionate as you are in your project.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, the independent route, the more and more artists I manage. I used to have a record label. I
On the
opened a record
way.
label. But then it transformed to artist management and development
Yeah,
because of what we
love
just
that.
said.
Hmm.
Unless, of course, you're like Sony, Universal, big names. What labels can do today for an artist is much more limited in a way, considering all the resources that artists have today,
Yeah.
you know? Um, and oh, AI. Yeah, I know. What's your take on AI? But there's a reason why I have this thought, because it just, I'm going to tell you later.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one, isn't it? And like, my dad loves AI. He thinks it's the best thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, I do think like it's good for some things, but also I'm like, oh no, I don't know. I'm just again, like the like what, how can I explain it? When you have like celebrities talking, it's not them. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, why is this happening? I feel like it could get a lot of people in trouble. um yeah, I'm really like this with AI, to be
Hmm.
honest. And if my
Hmm.
dad was here now, he'd be like, yeah, I love AI. It's gonna take over the world.
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
it is.
It is. So and I'm not the one saying it. It's
it,
facts and people that definitely,
they know.
um, they know, already said it. And it's already there. I mean, there's stuff
Yeah.
that AI can do. I don't know if you ever tried the app Suno for
Yes.
music. I tried
It's
it with my stepdaughter because she told me, "Well, Kiara, you're in music. I want to write a song." But then like, okay, well, to write a song, and I was trying to explain like, no, 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 I want to do it the easy way, AI. And well, she's very young, she's 10 years old.
oh
Um, but she wrote this lyrics, and basically I wanted to try it myself. I told myself, okay, this is a great way
yeah.
to test it. And based on the lyrics that she wrote, on the prompt that we gave the app, like, I want to do like melancholic but not too much, pop but not this, female voice, in the range, and wow,
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
it was a full finished song
Yeah. Yeah. In like seconds.
in seconds. And the vocals, I
Yeah.
can say, of course, that it's not like real person, but it's not, I would expect it to be a little bit, robotic or weird, or not at all.
It's passable, isn't it? It's scary. I think it scares me more than anything. So I'm like, how is this happening? And I was talking to my dad the other day about like like concerts. They were on about bringing like AI concerts so you can just sit in your living room and just, and I'm like, yeah, it's nice, but it's like, oh, there's nothing better than being with people and like enjoying music. And I think that's just kind of the sad thing. I'm like, oh, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that could work probably like during the pandemic, that we
Yeah.
couldn't go out. I still have a hard time believing that AI concerts are going to replace the real thing
Mm,
because of the music. But at the same time, I'm seeing younger people, I want to say younger, like 10-year-olds and stuff, using AI in ways that, and they don't know the full potential.
yeah.
I'm studying, a little bit when I have time, the potential of AI, and it can, I have some of my daily tasks run by AI, and it's the stuff that I don't want to do it. I don't feel like
Yeah.
doing it anymore. So I'm using it. Probably I don't use it as the majority of people, because the majority of people use it as like a search engine,
Yeah.
and AI is not Google.
No, I know. I think this is the thing as well, isn't it? Like it can be really scary sometimes. And like don't get me wrong, I put like recipes in, and like I if I want like a recipe, or like at like Christmas time, I was like create like a Christmas list for like my nan, and like give me like stuff like that. And it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's convenient. I think
It
that's
is.
it's
Yeah.
so quick.
And yeah, and it's why it's gonna take over the world, whether we
Yeah,
like it or not.
my dad's right.
Whether we
I
like
don't
it or
say that
not.
often.
Yeah, but also because that's what uh, there's some boring tasks that we seriously do every day, that once we found out that there's someone else or something else that can do it
Why
for
not?
us, why not? But for music, that is scary.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
that is, I know they're doing regulations, all around the world, but it's still, I think the law is definitely behind on how fast AI is going.
yeah, definitely. I feel like you don't like to say, but it's like, is it going to take people's jobs? Like, I hate that, but it's true, isn't it? Like if you can like get an AA song for free, well, not well, it is really, isn't it? Um,
Almost.
have like full production, and yeah, it's mad. It is mad. It's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And there's AI tracks in the charts, as
Yeah,
well. You have to disclose it.
yeah. My partner was listening to, and I can't remember what it was called now. That's gonna bug me. And he was like, I was like, he was like, yeah, it's AI. I was like, what? Like you wouldn't even know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
How
know.
is there anything that we can do, as artists, to either
Um,
stop this or make AI useful for us without this completely destroying our
um,
art?
yeah, it's mad 'cause like you said, it literally writes songs for you and everything, doesn't it? Like you can just say, write me this, and like make it pop and colourful. And yeah, I don't know. I just think we've got to just keep pushing and just doing what we're doing. Because I feel like, I don't even know if the big artists do use it. Maybe they do. Who knows? Who knows at this point? But yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, just yeah, keep an eye on it, and roll with it, but just
Yeah.
keep being
Being
creative.
creative. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Well, well, thank you so much for joining me, for joining us today on this
um,
conversation.
no, thank you for having
Um,
me. I've had so much fun.
yeah, and of course, everyone, I'm gonna put Macy's links below for those watching this on YouTube, for those listening to the podcast on Spotify. Just look for Macy. I know, like I remember on TikTok, it's Macy, Macy, Macy.
Yes.
And then from there you can get link to other platforms as well. But I'm definitely, if you guys go on YouTube, I'm gonna put all of her links below so you can go check her out, check her songs and what she's doing, because she's definitely an artist to watch out.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks again for joining me, and yeah, take care, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk some other
Nice
time.
to virtually meet you as well. It's been super lush. Thank you.
Thanks so much again. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye everyone.
Bye.